I want to start tonight with a question. Not a difficult one, not a trick. Just this. If someone you loved deeply came to you tonight, tired, a little lost, feeling like they hadn't quite measured up, what would you say to them? Take a moment, really think about it. You would not hand them a list of improvements. You would not remind them of everything they hadn't done yet. You would not say, "Yes, you're right. You could be doing better." You would hold them, or at least you would hold them with your words. You would say something true and kind. You would find the real things, the actual things they had already done, the person they already were. And you would give those things back to them like a gift. Hi, friends. Welcome back to English with Moon. Tonight, I want to do that for you. Most of us live with a kind of background noise. You may not even notice it anymore because it has been there so long. But it is always running, somewhere underneath everything else. It sounds like not quite enough, not quite there, could do better, should be further along, working on it, almost there, but not yet. It is the voice of conditional worth. The belief, absorbed somewhere in childhood, sharpened by a world that is very good at measuring people, that you earn your place, that you prove your value, that you are loved and accepted and allowed to take up space because of what you do and achieve and become, not simply because you exist. This is one of the most common and most painful things I know about human beings. We live so much of our lives in the conditional. When I achieve this, I will deserve rest. When I fix that, I will deserve love. When I become that better version of myself, then I will be enough. But the threshold keeps moving. I want to tell you about Clara. Clara was a woman who, by every external measure, had more than enough. A career she had worked hard for. A family she loved. People in her life who told her regularly that she was wonderful, that she was capable, that she inspired them. And still, every night, she went to bed with a quiet sense that she had not done enough, that the day had not quite justified her existence. She told me once, "I don't know why, but I feel like I always have to earn the right to be okay. Like there's some invisible scoreboard, and at the end of every day, I have to check whether I passed." Clara had never been told she was not enough. Not directly, not by anyone who loved her, but somewhere in the accumulation of small moments. A teacher who praised her only when she got things exactly right. A parent who showed love most clearly when she was achieving. A world that measured worth in productivity. She had learned it anyway. That love is earned. That rest is earned. That belonging is earned. That you have to prove yourself every day to justify your place here. This belief that our worth is conditional does not usually come from one dramatic moment. It accumulates, slowly, in small drops. The praise that came only for the A, not for the effort. The love that felt warmest when you were easy, quiet, uncomplicated. The messages from culture that said, your value is in your productivity, your achievements, your appearance, your usefulness. And we absorbed all of this. Without knowing we were absorbing it. Without anyone meaning to give us this particular lesson. But here is the thing about conditional worth. It is impossible to satisfy, because the moment you meet one condition, the condition shifts. You get the promotion, and suddenly you need the bigger promotion. You reach the goal weight and immediately find a new flaw to correct. You produce the thing, and the voice says, good. Now what's next? The threshold keeps moving, not because you are not enough, but because conditional worth was never designed to be satisfied. It was designed to keep you running. I think of it like a horizon. You walk toward it. You walk quickly. You even run sometimes. And the horizon moves back at exactly the pace you advance. It is always the same distance away. Not because you are slow, but because the nature of a horizon is that it cannot be reached. Conditional worth is like that. The goal post, the amount you need to achieve, the version of yourself you need to become, shifts every time you get close. It is not a destination that can be arrived at, and most of us have spent years running toward it anyway. Tired, wondering why we never quite get there, assuming the problem is our speed. But the problem is not our speed. The problem is that we have been running towards something that was never meant to be reached. Clara understood this slowly. One afternoon, she sat with the feeling, not trying to fix it, not pushing it away, just sitting with it. And she traced the thought back as far as she could. When had she first believed that she had to earn her right to rest? She found herself thinking of a summer when she was 9 years old. A summer when she had been sick for several weeks, and her parents had been worried. And she had understood, without being told, without anyone meaning to communicate this, that being sick was inconvenient. That being well would be better. That being easy was the way to be loved. She hadn't meant to learn that. Her parents hadn't meant to teach it, but she had absorbed it, the way children absorb everything completely, without filters, as a fact about the world. That 9-year-old's conclusion was not the truth. It was just a belief that had been running very quietly for a very long time. So, what is the alternative? I'm not going to tell you that you should simply decide to feel enough. That rarely works. You cannot think your way out of a belief that lives in the body, in the nervous system, in years of accumulated experience. But I want to offer something smaller, something more honest. Notice the conditions. When you feel not enough tonight, when that background voice starts its familiar running commentary, try to notice. What is the condition? What has to be true before I allow myself to feel okay? Because often, just naming the condition is enough to loosen its grip a little. If I finish this task, then I will deserve rest. If I look this way, then I will deserve love. If I achieve this, then I will deserve to take up space. And then ask, who decided this? Is it actually true? Because the answer almost always is no. The condition was invented. It was absorbed from somewhere once, a long time ago. It was never the actual truth of what you deserve. You deserve rest, not because you have earned it, because you are a living person who is tired. You deserve love, not because you have proven yourself worthy, because you are here and you are trying, and that has always been enough. Think about the moon. It does not earn its light. It does not spend the day building up enough achievement to deserve to shine at night. It simply rises, and we look up at it, full or crescent or barely there, and we call it beautiful. No one says to the crescent moon, "You should be fuller. You haven't done enough today to justify the sky." We accept whatever phase the moon is in. We find it beautiful in all of them. What would it mean to offer yourself that same acceptance? Not the full moon version of yourself, the version at peak productivity, at maximum output, at your most impressive, but you right now, in whatever phase you are actually in. Clara slowly learned to notice the conditions. It took time. She did not suddenly wake up one morning and feel completely at peace with herself. That is not how this works. But she started to catch it. The moment of checking the invisible scoreboard, the quick internal inventory of whether she had done enough, produced enough, been helpful enough. And she started gently to put the scoreboard down. Not forever, not permanently, just, I don't need to check this right now. And she told me something I have thought about many times since. She said, "I think I spent so long waiting to feel enough that I missed a lot of moments when I actually was. Not because I had achieved anything special, just because I was alive and trying, and that was real. But I couldn't see it. I was too busy measuring. Enough is not a destination you arrive at. It is a quality of attention. It is noticing right now, in this moment, what is already present, what you have already done, who you already are, and letting that be, for a moment, simply enough. Feeling enough is not a switch you flip. I want to be honest about that. It is a practice, a very gradual one. And like all practices, it begins not with a feeling, but with a choice. The choice to notice today one thing that is already good, not one thing that could be better, not one thing you are working on, one thing that is already here, already real, already worthy of being seen. Maybe it is the way you showed up for someone today. Maybe it is the fact that you kept a commitment you made to yourself. Maybe it is something much smaller. You cooked a meal, you sent a message, you got through something that was difficult without it breaking you. These things count. They count more than we let them count. Clara eventually started a small practice. Every evening, she wrote down one thing she had done that day that she was genuinely glad about. Not proud, not the word she was allowed to use, genuinely glad. A different standard. Not did I achieve something impressive. Did I do something today that I am glad happened? At first, she struggled. The critic in her was loud. But gradually, she found them. Small, true things. And gradually, the evidence began to accumulate. Not evidence that she was impressive. Evidence that she was real. That she was here. That she was doing things that mattered in ways that she had been completely overlooking. Enough is not a feeling you arrive at and then keep forever. It is a perspective you return to again and again, sometimes many times in a single day. But each time you return to it, it becomes a little more familiar, a little more like home. I want to say something about the hard days, too, because there will be days when none of this feels possible. Days when the critic is very loud and the evidence of your enoughness is nowhere to be found. And the practice of noticing what is good feels like a lie you cannot make yourself believe. On those days, the goal is not to feel enough. The goal is simply not to add to the cruelty, not to let the hard day become an occasion for everything you have been doing wrong, not to use the difficulty as evidence that the scoreboard was right all along. On those days, the practice is smaller. It is, I am struggling today. That is all. I am struggling, and I am still here, and tomorrow I will try again. That is enough for a hard day. That is more than enough. I want to say this to you plainly. Dear friend, I know about the scoreboard. I know that quiet checking at the end of every day, sometimes in the middle of the day, where you tally up whether you were enough. I want to say something that I mean completely. You are enough, not when you get the promotion, not when you fix the habit, not when you become the version of yourself you have been working toward, not when the apartment is cleaner, or the inbox is emptier, or the relationship is better, or the bank account is fuller. Now, as you are, with the undone tasks and the unresolved feelings and the complicated history you carry everywhere you go, you are enough right now. I know that might be hard to believe. I know the voice in your head may immediately start listing all the reasons it isn't true, all the things that still need to be done, all the ways you haven't quite measured up. But that voice is not the truth. That voice is a habit, a very old habit, a habit that was given to you, not chosen by you, in a time when you were learning how to survive. You don't have to be defined by it forever. You are allowed to put the scoreboard down. just for tonight, just to see what it feels like. You are allowed to simply be here. That is enough. With so much love, Moon. 3 things worth holding on to. Conditional worth is a habit, not a truth. The belief that you have to earn your right to rest, to love, to take up space, that was learned. It was not the truth when you learned it, and it is not the truth now. Notice the conditions. When you feel not enough, ask, what is the condition I believe I haven't met? Name it out loud. Often, just naming it shows you how invented it is. And enough is not a destination. It is a quality of attention. It is the practice of noticing right now what is already here, already real, already worthy of being seen. Thank you for being here with me tonight. This is English with Moon, a slow, quiet place where we practice English and practice being a little more gentle with ourselves along the way. If tonight's episode felt true for you, I hope you'll share it with someone who needs it. If you're comfortable, I'd love to know, what is one condition you have been putting on your own worth? Naming it in the comments is often the first step to letting it go. And come back soon. Until then, put the scoreboard down just for tonight and rest in the fact that you have already been enough. Good night, friends.